This is the Disorderly Wrestling Review. My name is Brian. Let's talk NXT Takeover 31. Sorry, I had music. I don't know why it's not. It doesn't matter. Fantastic show. Like NXT hasn't. I don't want to say they haven't had a good show because they've had. I don't think they've had a bad show, but they've had a string of on the lower tier of good for the last couple of takeovers during the pandemic. Well, I mean, there's been some good matches mixed in there, but it's not been to the quality that we would expect from a NXT of last year, year before. This show met those levels. It was fantastic. It was a short card, 2.5 hours or something like that. 5 matches. Highly recommended. Overall grade, spoiler free, real quick. Hey, if you are at all interested in NXT, following the product inside that universe, if you just care about good wrestling, watch it. Talking about the matches themselves specifically, because there's only 5 matches, but there's a lot to talk about what happened during the matches. All 4 titles were on line, plus there was a single grudge match. Show kicked off with the North American title. Damien Priest defending against Johnny Gargano. And the story going into this was the Gargano family wanted to cement themselves as a legacy, as an empire in NXT, the first husband and wife champions within the brand. Gargano had his chance with the North American title, and then later in the night, Candice LeRae will have an opportunity at the women's title. It didn't quite go so well for him, as it turns out, the spoiler for the match. Damien Priest coming in here, the big hotshot. Is clear that they still have a lot of plans for him. They're really high and mighty on him. How he's not on the main roster yet, I don't know. Because he's getting up there in age. He's not exactly a spring chicken, you know? And he's the type of gimmick you think Vince would fall in love with. That's definitely something that'd be right up his wheelhouse. This big, imposing dude. He's got the look. He's got the character. He's got everything you would need. I'm really glad they haven't called him up yet. Because you got an absolute banger like this. Johnny Gargano was amazing. And Damien Priest carried his load. These two had a stunning match. The part of the finish, I want to say, because it was not the finishing sequence, but is working into that, was a bump with the ring crew. Gargano was on the outside. Damien Priest dives at him. Gargano pulls the ring crew in the way. So a couple of I don't know if they called security, I think, on the broadcast. They got pulled into it. They took the blunt. The referee went to investigate, make sure they're okay, and Gargano got the nut shot in. I bet there was some shady, dusty finish shit going on, and you kind of figured, oh, that's not a good sign, because Gargano had his North American reign not too long ago. I didn't think they were going to go back to it right away, but if Damian Priest is getting called up, there are worse ways to do it. And the storyline of setting up the Gargano husband and wife dual champion thinks this is as good a way to do it as any, but they don't do it that way. Damien Priest turns it around. They go for a few more minutes. There's another spot. The actual part of the finishing sequence involved some steel steps on the outside and them fighting up on the ring apron. And you figure someone's going to fall back onto these steel steps, but even that doesn't come into play. They jockey around for a minute, and just Damien Priest just fucks him into the ring and then hits his finish, and it's over. Really weird sort of subversion of expectations there, and I don't want to say I'm disappointed someone didn't hit the steel steps, because it was still a great match, but I am slightly disappointed someone didn't hit the steel steps. Why would you not take advantage of it? You already have it set there. It's not exactly that big a fall, and people have fallen onto it before. Gargano's certainly done it. He's got no fucking fear in him. It just seemed like an odd choice to me not to do it. But this goes to the trend of, despite the shenanigans, it didn't change the outcome of the match. Champion still retained. Just take a pin in that. Remember that idea. Next match is Kushida versus Velveteen Dream. I have very, very hard time watching Dream's matches, considering the allegations and shit held against him. It really, really makes it hard to really buy into this character to look at as a face or as a heel when there's so many allegations, and a lot of them with some semi-credible evidence. I don't know the full story, so I can't confirm or condemn the man one way or the other, but it feels really awkward to give him such a prominent position considering what's floating out there with no real dispute. Like WWE and Dream's part, they've been entirely mute on the issue, which compared to other circumstances like the Matt Riddle circumstance from this Me Too movement a little while back, he came out and presented his side of the argument. You might not agree with it, you might not think it was a good side to present, but he refuted some of them claims. And Riddle's kept very, very quiet about it. And there's some serious allegations there, so it might be smart to keep quiet about it, but it feels very awkward for them to just keep pushing straight forwards with the man when all that is still floating out there. So take that as how you will for coloring my impression of the match, but I thought they had a good match. They really did. Kushida's fantastic. I fucking love Kushida. I've loved him back in New Japan, fighting fucking Takahashi and shit. Is like, well worth a watch. Alright, match. Kushida, Velveteen Dream, they had a banger. I just wish Dream wasn't such a fucking awkward position. Like, if the dude is, fucking coming on to underage children, he shouldn't be on your fucking main show. If he's not, you should release evidence defuting that fucking bullshit. How I stand on it. After that, we go into the final 3 matches. All 3 of them title matches. Cruiserweight title. Escobar versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. If you've seen their first 2 couple of interactions, this is a lot more along that path. It's a good fucking match. Like, the 2 of them can go. Swerve Scott is fantastic. I haven't really been as high on him as a lot of other people were, but he really fucking delivered tonight. And tonight, we saw another instance of outside shenanigans coming in. Escobar's men made the interference, and then I forget the name of the dude. His first name is Adonis, one of the other newer NXT guys. He cut a promo later in the night that was fantastic, that sort of built you on his character. But he came out and evened the odds, so it came back to a one-on-one, so you figure the heel is winning. But no, again, the interference doesn't play out how you think it would. And Escobar retains. In fairly clean fashion, too. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where he goes from there. I'm not a huge fan of Escobar's character, but he's a fantastic wrestler, and it's a division that really needs good fucking heels, so we'll see where that plays out from. Anyways, back to the show. After the Cruiserweight Tag Title match is Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae, Gargano. And this is the second half of the Garganos trying to set up a legacy, trying to cement themselves as NXT's power couple, basically. It didn't go so well for the first half. Gargano didn't win, but maybe LeRae can turn it around and at least get the start of their plan going. Io Shirai is fantastic. Like, I don't think that woman could have a bad match. And then Candice LeRae is also fantastic. I don't think she could have a bad match. So when you put these 2 fuckers against each other, they have a fantastic fucking match. It's just, it is what it is. They're fantastic. And it's interesting to me to see the slow burn for LeRae going from face to heel fairly dramatically, mirroring Io Shirai's change last year when she went from face to heel, and then slowly as that progressed, Io sort of came back around. She's more sort of on the good track. She was definitely working the face role tonight. It's interesting to just see how they took very similar paths, but Io's has sort of looped back around. She's completed her cycle, and I don't know how if Candice is. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And I don't want to spoil any of the high spots or moments from this match. It's my favorite match of the night. You should go watch it. If you care about wrestling, go fucking watch it. They tore the roof off the goddamn place. Main event time. we have Finn Balor, NXT Champion, defending against 1/4 of Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly. And they really sold this as Kyle O'Reilly's breakout moment. This is where he was going to make a name for himself. He was going to show the world that he isn't just a tag star. He's just not the corner man of Adam Cole with the Undisputed Era. He was his own man. And the two of them just went to war. They destroyed each other. There was a lot of targeted wrestling. Finn's knee became a real quick target, got worked on most of the match, setting up for O'Reilly's heel hook and Achilles lock. Like, I don't really know if he has a proper finisher. He's finished matches with submission holds before, but since he's a tag guy, he doesn't exactly have like a default move that he'll go to finish the match. At least not in NXT. So you figure that's probably what he's doing, just going back to like the submission stuff like he's done before. Like, if you, even in like his tag matches, like Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era from last year before, I think, that ended in a fucking submission hold as well from Kyle O'Reilly. So that's what you figured they're working for, and he just kept working over the knee, and Balor is selling it so fucking good. He looks like he can't fucking walk. And then Balor, for his part, is just brutalizing O'Reilly, being the veteran, being the champion against this underdog. He's just kicking the shit out of him, making it really, really hard. O'Reilly's fighting for every goddamn inch of momentum he can gain in this match. If their goal was to try and build Kyle O'Reilly, to set him up for a singles run, I think they did a fantastic job here. The ending to this match, considering that 3 of the matches, of the 5 matches, 3 of them so far had shenanigans, and Kyle O'Reilly is part of Undisputed Era, the group known for fucking shenanigans. You expected shenanigans in this fight, in the finish. We didn't get it. The match was just basically worked as a tweener, heelish Finn Balor versus a babyface Kyle O'Reilly. And the match came to a clean finish. It's not the finish I would have wanted, but it's the one you all expected. Finn Balor's the veteran. He's barely started his championship reign. Hits the finish, hits the coup de grace, and retains his title. Kyle O'Reilly had a fucking star-making performance. If the kid's not exactly young, so if their goal is to do something with him as a singles competitor, they gotta move soon, and this is a great fucking first step. Finn Balor retains, limping on one knee, busted his lip up, like he looked like he went to war. It was a fantastic fight. The two of them shook hands afterwards. You see the logo in the bottom corner, and you realize, this is NXT. This logo here doesn't mean shit. Until the screen fades to black, it's not over. And of course it's not fucking over, because at the end of the goddamn match, you see Pat McAfee in the fucking crowd with Adam Cole just drenched on his goddamn shoulder. And I literally fucking started laughing. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? He just has Adam Cole just throughout the goddamn match, dumps him into the goddamn ringside area, and just walks off. That's it. It's like, what the fuck actually happened? That's when Undisputed Era comes to check on fucking Adam Cole. That's when you get all the guys together. Not during the match where they could have fucking helped, but it's just fucking hilarious. It's the weirdest fucking way to end the show. And it's clear they've got plans for McAfee. He's got fucking presence. He can work really well for a fucking rookie. I'm glad that they're doing more with him. Just seemed really fucking weird to me. It was great. It's a weird way to cap off a show, but it was a fantastic show. If you like wrestling, if you like NXT, watch it. That's my recommendation.